Hi everyone! Are you looking for an easy way to create a client portal within your Notion workspace? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to do just that. By the way, I'm Jess, I'm Notion certified. I spent years working in real estate, organizing my business, and I've created this template called the Ultimate Agent Hub for other real estate agents to organize their business, and you can easily purchase that in the link in the description below. So let's get into it. So you'll see that I have my workspace here, and I have multiple dashboards on the left side here. In this video, I'm going to be taking you to the All Client database, which contains both my buyer CRM and my seller CRM. Okay, so let's go into this All Client database here. All right, so say I'd like to create a client portal for my sellers and a client portal for my buyers. What I've done here is that when I open a client's page, I'll be able to create a client portal here. Okay, so I've created these buttons which will create a client portal page. So I'm going to take you through what that looks like, and then I'll do a demonstration of how you can actually build this within your Notion workspace. So because this client here is a seller, I'm going to click on Add Client Portal Seller. All right, so there we go. Now I have a page within this client page, which becomes my client portal. All right, so I'm going to open that up. And now I would change this to Taylor Swift Seller Client Portal. Okay, so client portal is a space where you can collaborate, communicate, and share any important information with your client, and your client can also share any information with you. So the way that I've set it up is that within a transaction for a seller, you've got a sequence of steps to sell their property. So in order to keep the client up to date on each of these steps, you would have that list here, and you can edit these as required, as dictated by your own process that you take on with each of your seller clients. So let's say the first step when I'm working with a seller is to complete the listing agreement. You can have a status for these. That way the client knows exactly where we are in the process and doesn't need to ask you, when will the property be staged? When will the listing go live on MLS? You can have this table here that tells them exactly what's in progress, what's been done, and what is coming up. And you can even indicate a date for each of these. So let's say I've signed the agreement today, so that's done. And then we're starting to work on the coming soon advertising. That would be due, let's say, on Wednesday. We're going to assemble listing details on Wednesday as well. We're going to start staging the property. Let's say we've made an appointment with our stager for next Wednesday. So we can set all the dates here. That way the client knows exactly what to expect and isn't left in the dust about anything at all. And then you can also open any of these, and then you can add comments here. So let's say Liz, the stager, will be going into the property on August 9. Please make sure to put away any of your personal belongings and keep the property clean before staging. There you go. So now I've left that comment. If my client wants to put any comments here, they can do that there. The client can even send me a notification. I can put the name of the person at please let me know at what time the stager will be done so I can plan. And then I'll get a notification because I've been tagged in the comment. Okay, so you can leave each other little comments like that about each of the steps, and you'll notice here that there's a little icon that shows that you have comments within that page. You can also view these as a board, like a Kanban board, where you would have each of them like this, and you can move them through each column as they are in progress and as they get completed. And then you can have them in a gallery view as well this way. All right, you could also add additional properties here. So let's say certain steps may have files that you want to attach them. You can click Files and Media here, and then you'll be able to attach any applicable files to that page. So let's say the listing agreement is signed, you could always attach that listing agreement here so that it's easily accessible for you and for the client at all times. So that's a great example of how you can utilize Notion to have a client portal in Notion. I'll also show you how you would share this page with your client. So you would click share up here. Now, if your client uses Notion or wants to create a free account with Notion, you can share it this way, okay? So this will enable them to be added as a guest to your account, and guests are free on Notion, so you can add them as a guest and they'll be able to use Notion on this specific page and collaborate with you, no problem. The other way would be to make this page public, but if you're going to be having any confidential information on this page, you may not want to do that, but it is an option to make this page live, so allow editing. So you would basically publish the page, you would allow editing so that your client can make edits, and you can allow comments so that the client can add comments. You can toggle off duplicate because you don't want anyone to duplicate this. And then you would just copy this link with your client and they'll be able to go into their browser and edit and comment as they wish. But typically I would recommend, if you are having any confidential information in here or things that you don't want to be on a page on the web, then just invite your client to create an account on Notion, which is super straightforward, not complicated at all, and then they'll be able to use this to collaborate on this page with you without having to share that with anyone else. It'll be private, just between you and your client. Okay, and just a note here, when you share this page, so if I look at Taylor Swift, all this information, they would not be able to see this because you are only giving them access to a page which is inside of your client page. So they will only have access to this page. They won't have access to anything else in your client database, so long as you share the page once you're in the client portal. So you're not going to go here in Taylor Swift and share from here. So you don't want to share from this page. You don't want to share from this page because that would give them access to all this information. If you give them access from this page, it'll give them access to all this information and maybe notes that you've taken in the process and that you don't want them to be able to edit or comment on. So you really want to be sharing only once you've clicked into this page, which is the client portal. Okay, so that's for the seller. Same concept for a buyer, but I'll show you quickly what that would look like. Okay, so let me click into Drake. Okay, so this client is a buyer, so I'm going to use the Add Client Portal Buyer button. Click on that, and now I have a new page that just pops up, and I can open that up. So this is a brand new page that just got created inside of Drake's profile, and now so I'm just going to write Drake here. Okay, so same exact process. You have your list of steps for this client. Once again, the only thing that I've added to this one is that in the property visits, I've added a database of properties visited so that then you can make notes on that with your buyer. So let's say I go visit 123 Duckling Avenue. I can tag it, so I can create any tags that I want. I can put what date did we visit this property, what did the client like, what did the client dislike, what's the overall score that they want to give the property. So these are all things that the client will be able to list out. So like I liked size of the yard, I liked updates, but did not really like the location or the size of kitchen, too small. Okay, so they can put notes in there so that they can keep track of each property that they've visited with you. So that's the only difference here, aside from the steps obviously being different for your buyer client. So that's pretty much it. Now to quickly show you how I've created these, I'm going to go into my all client database. So those buttons that I was showing you there, these are buttons that I've added within the template that pops up every time I create a new client. So the way to do that is you go up here in the little blue button. And so these are the templates for all client and lead database. So these are the templates that I've created for this database here, so that, whenever I have a new seller, I would use this template. Whenever I have a new buyer, I'd use this template. So let me just show you here. Edit. You're editing a template, okay? So I've added multiple things here, including these buttons. So let's show you how you can create these. In order to create a button, you just do / button, right? This is how you can trigger certain actions from the click of this button. So in this case, this is just an insert block button. Okay, so when I click on this, I can insert a block, whether that's text, whether that's a new page, whether that's a new database, whatever it is. It's by clicking this button, that block of whatever I put in there is going to appear under the button. So that's what I've used in this case. I'm just going to show you here how I've done that. So I'm going to click on the Add Client Portal Seller. So this is the button that I've created, okay? Edit button. So all I've done here is that when this button is clicked, insert block below. It could be above, it could be below. I've just chosen below. And I've inserted a page. So let's say I created a page here. Page. Once you create a page, I can drag that into this block, okay? So all that I've done is I created the page called Seller Client Portal. So I've built this out by adding a database, by adding all of these steps, by adding all the properties that I want in the database, adding a little title here, adding a photo, all that. So I've created the page. And then once I had created the page, let's say this was the page that I had just created, I dragged that page that I created into the block here, so that every time I click on that button, a new page that looks exactly like that one is created. That way I have a brand new page for each of my clients, and they're not connected, right? So each of the pages is independent and can be collaborated on independently with my client, so that everything stays confidential and in one place for each of my clients. So that's it. And then I did the same thing for the buyer client, just with, obviously, as I showed you, those slight tweaks so that it's adapted to the process that I use for buyers. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Again, you can find this entire template called the Ultimate Agent Hub in the link in the description. And please like and subscribe to support my channel and to let me know that you would love to see more videos like this in the future. I'm Jess, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.